Here we are in the garden, and I've got gophers. There are mounds all over the place. Fresh mounds. I'm going to have to find the gopher. I'm going to probe around. Here's a fresh mound right here. And I'm going to try to decide what direction this mound goes in. I'll use my probe to try to find the main run. Whoops, here it is. Notice that my probe suddenly goes down. So I'm going to clear the dirt away from this mound. Look at right here. I think this is where the gopher plugged his hole. He excavates his tunnel and pushes dirt to the surface. That's what these mounds are. He closes them every day when the sun comes up. So we're going to open it and set a trap. Oh, this is an easy one. I think I've gotten right into the hole. Let me see. Here it is. Yep. This is how far to the main run. The lateral hole that we're using is only plugged by maybe 2 to 4 inches of soil. Don't put your finger in the hole. Gophers defend their homes. They'll bite. Besides, it may not be a gopher in the hole. I'm excavating a big enough hole to accommodate the jaws of my cinch trap. Let's go in the direction of the screwdriver. Yep. The idea is to open the tunnel because the gopher doesn't like the tunnel open. It lets in light. He knows it's open. He's genetically programmed to protect himself, to keep his tunnel closed. I'd like to know from which direction this gopher is going to come from. Whoops, maybe it's this way. Let's excavate a little bit more over this side. I'll mark the direction I think the tunnel is in. Yeah, I think this is it. Now I'm going to set my trap. A firm surface helps. Hold this down firmly. And be sure that these pins hang free. I'm going to pull the jaws open. Hold it down firmly. Don't let go. Pull the first pin up over the trigger. Now put the other pin over the first, behind this little wall area, right in between there. And then this is the trigger. Notice that the trigger can move up and down, and it goes through this little groove here. There's room for it. So I put it through the groove, hold it there, release the pin. Now the pin is against the trigger, and I can safely hold it here while I insert it into the hole. Oops, not big enough. I'm going to set this aside and excavate a little bit more here. Okay, let's try again. I think that's pretty good. Before leaving to set more traps, I'm going to mark this trap so that I can quickly see which traps have been triggered. I put a flag by each trap. Right now it's getting close to noon, and I'm going to leave this trap in place for 24 to 48 hours. I'll check it. I'll be back at 4 o'clock this afternoon to check and see if the gopher has come to close this hole. Gophers don't leave the holes open. They're afraid of what might come in. They live a solitary life, and they don't want another gopher, or something worse, coming into their hole. So they'll come back about 4 o'clock and close it. Overnight, in the dark, they open the hole again and run around to collect food. So in the morning, the hole is open again, and I'll be back to check the traps to see if I got a gopher. If after 24 to 48 hours you haven't caught a gopher, move the traps to a new location. How do you know when you have a gopher in your trap? The trap is underground. Let's see what happens when the gopher approaches the trap, pushing his pile of dirt to close the hole, and he sets off the trigger. He's caught in the trap. This is what you see from above, that the arm is part way up because the gopher's body is in the jaws. This catches him right below the arms. You pull the trap from the hole, out comes the gopher. We're going to set him aside and excavate a little bit and try to put in some gopher bait for the next gopher that's definitely going to come along and occupy this hole. I try to put in 1 or 2 bait blocks into the hole. I push them down, hopefully into the main run. Then I release the gopher, pulling down the arm, and then I put the little gopher back into his hole and cover him with dirt and step on the dirt so that no other critter digs him up. Get that gopher.